Hey everybody, it's Jang here from jangbricks.com with the first look at the first version of my first steam locomotive. I've been planning to have a steamer in my layout, on my layout, since spring of 2013, and I've had it as just a little digital placeholder in the digital kind of mock-up that I've had of the layout for so long. It's been moved around as the layout has changed in design, and finally it has been made into something real. First off, the locomotive and tender. I think I first started working on this in the very beginning, like the first week of December 2013, actually trying to make the real thing. It's a 440 old American style steamer, not at all intended to be a replica of any particular engine model that actually existed. I wanted it to be something custom. I wanted it to be something that came from me. One of the interesting things in the process of building this was that I started thinking of ways to do the linkages, how to do the connecting rod and such, and make it look kind of somewhat realistic just in its action. And I came up with a couple of different options for how to do it, and I realized that, probably other folks have done the exact same thing. So I did something unusual for me. I actually looked at other people's similar types of Lego MOCs, which normally I avoid doing because I don't want to take inspiration from other people's custom creations. I want the things that I make to be mine and mine alone. But I looked at other folks' similar looking, similar styled, similar scaled locomotives, and indeed they were doing exactly the same things that I was thinking about. There are like three major options within this scale for doing those linkages. I had thought of two of them. I learned about another one. That was great to learn, but I didn't want to do any of them. I wanted to do something different. That's why I used this old Bionicle armor add-on piece. Just to me, it looked like it had multiple linkages together. It just kind of, I don't know, there was something about it that I just wanted to get into the piece. Plus a little bit of a connection to where I started in my most recent adventures in Legos, doing the large action figure stuff. So there was a ton of back and forth. I actually originally started thinking about doing this as a power functions locomotive, and I started figuring out different ways to put an actual electric motor inside of this thing and gear it up and all that kind of stuff. And I realized that just wasn't going to work out very well for this kind of scale, because I wanted the boiler to be not too large. I wanted it to be just kind of a vintage feeling thing, to be kind of a tourist attraction, just to ride some folks around. Let me turn this thing around. But I then thought about putting power functions stuff in the tender car, and in the end I said, you know what, I just want this thing to look nice and not have to worry about the mechanics for too much longer, because I wanted to get something actually running. Usually projects like this I'll work on for way too long to get them right, like my elevated rail, and I'm happy with that, but this one I wanted to get running, so I just stuck a 9-volt motor in the tender. The tender car design to me looks a little bit too modern. Modern, yeah, it looks more like a coal car. It's supposed to be a wood-burning engine, and that's why it actually has wood-ish looking detail in there, kind of, or at least wood-colored stuff in there. So that's probably a little bit off, and that's one of the reasons I'm calling this version 1, because I'm going to do more with this and make it more detailed over time, and it'll evolve. But for now, let's look at the next car, the first piece of plain rolling stock, and that's kind of boring, right? I'd say. But this is actually a 4.5 volt battery box from an old classic Lego train set. So this carried 3 big alkaline batteries when I got it. Some of you may actually remember me pulling this out of a Lego or Bricklink haul. No, actually it was probably an eBay haul, where I got a whole bunch of track, a bunch of my 9-volt track from somebody in Hawaii, I believe it was. And the thing was just all gunked up and looked terrible. It actually had a battery that had corroded so badly it was stuck in there permanently. Well, I ground that down, battery acid dust just flying all through the air, had to use a face mask and stuff, and it didn't come with a top at all, the topper for it, so I had to make something that would kind of fit in there, that would kind of be a pressure fit and not slide around, and then just put a little bit of a curve on the top of it. But this to me was just a nice way to get a little bit of extra official, proper, classic Lego style into this train. This is a converted gondola, or gondola, however you want to pronounce it, depending upon where you're from. Converted to carry people. And just has some seats in there, and I made some new minifigures. I was happy to have a good place to put a bunch of new custom little minifigures just to use up some of my minifig parts. And it is what it is. You know, it's simple. I did use more of the old classic wheel sets down here. Could definitely use more detail on this thing, but for now it fits in with the color scheme of the train overall. I think has a little bit of a classic, well, a good amount of a classic feel to it. And I'm pretty happy with it because it really adds the flavor that I wanted, that this is really a tourist attraction. This whole train itself is something for people to, you know, be in wonder about and just enjoy being around, just to be around something classic. And then key for the feel of an old-timey train, had to get a Caboose. I really threw this one together super fast, really fast. And it's basic. It doesn't have any interior detail yet. I'll need to add that at some point. I made the roof easy to remove so that it'll be easy to get you know, interior put in there. But for now, it's just enough. Like I said, version 1, getting this thing rolling around my layout, getting it to look like a full, complete train, does the trick. For now, uses a lot of really old window pieces. Also has a custom door to get the roof line to be a little bit lower, and that has some old window pieces in it. Now, I mentioned getting this thing rolling around my layout. Let's go ahead and take a look at that to close out this video. I'm going to sign off now, stop with the narration, and just let you hear that. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.